Well, one of the panel sessions this afternoon was about design, and here to talk about kitchen design is a man who knows a lot about industrial design. It's Gus Desbarats, chairman of the Alloy. Hi, Gus.
Hi there.
Thanks for joining us.
That's all right, pleasure.
Now, one of the things you were talking about, I found interesting. You're quite frustrated by some of the kind of design trends in kitchen appliances. You said that some of the user interfaces are quite difficult to use, especially on products like ovens.
Yeah, I mean, I gave the anecdote of power failure and your clock needing to be reset and ambiguous controls, meaning you put the thing on time bake instead of. Absolutely, as people put a lot of functionality into things, you have to put exponentially more effort into planning actually how that interaction behavior is choreographed. A lot of companies don't quite get that.
Okay.
A lot of the traditional view of a designer is that they just create a shape, and it may be about choosing a color or a finish, whereas design now is really about choreography and meaning as much as shape.
One of the things you were saying is that obviously 95% of a designer's time is spent in front of a computer designing a product, but it's really important to get out there and actually experience it and get out in the field to develop products.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, the designers are really in a key place. They're beautifully positioned to convert customer empathy into clear instructions that the engineers who can't get out can get on and deliver. And because what we do actually is a creative thing that needs inspiration, market reports aren't inspirational. They can give you some leads, so you've got to get out there and observe people as well as get their answers from questionnaires. And this is really essential in this sector because there's a lot of it's always been done this way. And as you saw, people's lives have changed an awful lot. People's lives have changed an awful lot more than kitchens. And so all that happens if you're keeping on doing things that have always been done this way is the gap between what people are looking for and what you're offering is actually growing all the time. So it's no wonder you're worried about, this sector's worried about margins and loyalty and feeling commoditized.
What's interesting as well, I think, is that products from the consumer electronics sort of background. You talked to Apple came up a lot, the iPad.
Yeah.
Those products are now moving into the kitchen, but that brings with them a lot of challenges for safety and be able to use products like that in an environment they weren't originally designed to be used in.
Yeah, huge issue, comes out a lot. We do a lot of tablets and things like that. The kitchen is one of the most challenging environments, and that's actually an opportunity because Apple isn't going to be the only tablet manufacturer forever. The core technology with Android and things like that is going to be, the hardware will be commoditized. So there are great opportunities to actually be the expert on tablets for the kitchen, for example, or offer something unique in how screens are integrated into kitchens and that sort of stuff. Those two spaces are really parallel universes that do touch a lot.
We've heard lots of things about, stainless steel, white is the new black, black is the new white. That's all a bit, hackneyed and has been. But something that you picked up on, which I thought was interesting, was actually the use of kind of surfaces, to change the kind of functionality of products. So, steel
coatings and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. That's one of the fastest moving areas of technology is surface coatings, and you can do an awful lot, with new forms of non-stick, thermal barriers. Conductivity, you can create elements that are sheet metal coated with a conductive element that will get the heat into a liquid far more efficiently than if you just have a single element at the bottom. So all kinds of things going on.
So what's exciting you finally? What's hot in the kitchen, if you see what I mean?
I think what's hot in the kitchen is we're working for people at the moment in white goods, and it's very interesting. Because what's happening is they've set up innovation teams, some of the large brands, and they're sort of going, look, we can't go on with business as usual, things are changing. So we'll go on over there in one bit of the business, actually just doing incremental marginal stuff on what we've always done. But actually we're going to look for some more open-minded stuff, and it's got to be it's got to be achievable in 12 to 18 months, but so we're seeing clients much more open-minded and much more interested in looking to the experience to drive the configuration. Let the designer have a view on where things should go. What kind of technology might be best to do certain things, etc., before you actually come back with a fixed platform.
And so white goods are going to be cool. We're not going to see internet fridges though. They're done. They're a thing of the past as well, aren't they?
Yeah, we're going to see access to information in the kitchen because it's important. People live in the kitchen, and TV screens and computer screens are going to be pretty much interchangeable. you know, in the next couple of years, because with analog switch off, you know, that's going to have a big impact. Actually, all these, you know, two TVs number 3, 4, and 5 in the household that are picking up the airwaves are going to need to be replaced with something, and that something might not be a digital signal over the air. It might actually be an IP signal. So that's going to touch on the kitchen. And I just think that you've seen things like boiling water from the tap. So just lots of little innovations like that. And the one I think that is really kind of the whole value chain here is just ripe for something very disruptive. You know, it's just ripe for someone to come along and just finally rip it out of its roots of being about cabinetry in a room into, well, you know, actually it's a bespoke mass customization object. You know, it's something that you sit down and you work through with an expert and you buy, and it's a well-considered thing. This is a big deal in places like China. Might actually drive this. This is what B&Q found many years ago when they went out to China. They discovered that the Chinese consumers don't want to do DIY. When they see a showroom in a studio, they want to buy that, and they want to just say, "I'll have that room, please," and they'd like you to come and install it and do everything for them. So we'll see more of that, I think.
Brilliant. Thanks for giving us a glimpse into the design and the future of trends.
That's all right. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Take care.